Hey, what's up, people? I am back with another pod review for Jim Duffy over at Refining Fire Chiles. That is superhotchiles.com. This is his card. You can scan the QR code to go straight to his website. He has a lot of very, very cool varieties. And seed season is about to start, so definitely watch that space. Jim was kind enough to send me a box full of some new stuff that he's offering this year. And this really needs no introduction. This is a Chocolate Bhutlah. However, this is not any Chocolate Bhutlah. This is a different strain of the Chocolate Bhutlah. The Chocolate Bhutlah that was popularized by Ted Barris, the Chili Beast, LA Beast, etc. ad nauseum, is a strain that was put out there by Stephen McLaurin. The original creator of the Bhutlah is Chad Soleski, and that was the Red Bhutlah. Chad now has his own strain of the Chocolate Bhutlah, and that is what this mean thing is. Now, from what I hear from Jim, as you can see, these don't get really quite as large or as gnarly as the McLaurin strain. However, they are still pretty scary looking. As you can see, it's ridged and bumpy all over. It's still a decent sized pod. I've got very large hands, so just to give you some perspective, it's still pretty big. However, from what I hear, this is a better producer than the McLaurin Chocolate Bhutlah. However, Jim will, of course, be selling seeds for both strains this season, so you can make that decision yourself. Now, I'm very, very interested actually in giving this a try, just to see how it compares in flavor and heat. Now, the Chocolate Bhutlah, the Black Ops strain, which is the SM strain that I tried earlier this year, it is definitely very, very hot. It's got a very aggressive, violent, all over the place burn. However, I was not a fan of the flavor at all. So I'm interested to see how this compares. If it's a better tasting chili, if it's a hotter chili. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. So we're going to pop the pin on this one. No real aroma coming through it. I'll cut it open so you guys can see what it looks like. It's a very earthy aroma. Very earthy. Ooh. That is pretty nasty wet. I'll show you what I see in here. It's a pretty solid placenta all the way down. Particularly more on this side right here. There are plenty of seeds in there, and very thin-walled, extremely thin-walled, and it's quite wet in there. Sure, I'll try and give you a better look here. Placental tissue does line the entire inner wall of the chili. Now, since there's a fair amount of seeds, I'm going to take some of these out, just so I can get a better sense of the flavor here. I can give you guys accurate tasting notes on this chili. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, the placental tissue in this chili has not been disturbed. I just took out some seeds so I can give you guys a better read on the flavor, because again, seeds don't make it hotter, they just make it bitter, and it's an unpleasant texture as well. So, without further delay, courtesy of Jim Duffy, the Chocolate Bhutlah CS, Chad Soleski strain. Here we go. Now, it is a bit of a better tasting chili so far. Okay, so the burn is building slower than it did on the Black Ops group / SM strain. It's not quite as violent. Also, it has better flavor. It's still earthy, tad floral. However, it's got some fruitiness to it. But far less floral flavor than the Black Ops group or McLaurin strain. But rather than a full-on, just violent, grab you by the throat, hurt you everywhere burn, this one has a slower build. A searing heat on the tongue, tip of the tongue, particularly. It's got my lips, numb my lips up pretty good. and it's burning all the way down the throat. And it's creeping up slowly. That is the Bhut in the cross definitely doing its work. I also feel it on the roof of the mouth, and it's spreading to the cheeks slowly. It's pretty hot, but so far at least, I don't think it's as hot as the BOG or SM strain. However, it is definitely a much better tasting chili. So I could get a little bit of whiskey chest from that. I'm going to stick around for a little while on this, see how long it takes to build. But it might have actually peaked already. I'm not sure. Also, doesn't seem to be producing as much saliva as the SM strain. Now, it's doing this weird thing where it's definitely peaked in the throat. However, it's building on the roof of the mouth. And it's sitting in the chest, whiskey chest, nothing alarming. I think it's peaked. I don't feel it getting any hotter. Actually, it is starting to fade. So it's also not as long of a burn as the SM strain. Now, on flavor, still has a pleasant aftertaste. It is earthy. It does have a lot of floral flavor. Not in an annoying way, however. It's actually quite pleasant. It's not sweet, but it's not bitter either. And it doesn't have that grassiness that I really hated in the SM strain. There is a touch of fruity flavor to it and smokiness. It's not my favorite tasting chili, but it is certainly not a bad tasting chili at all. I would give that a 7 out of 10 on flavor. Now, on heat, it hits a lot of the same areas as the SM strain for the burn, like roof of mouth, tongue, cheeks, throat, hits them all. However, it's nowhere near as violent it doesn't hit as fast. It's a slow creep up, builds, crescendos, peaks, and then almost immediately drops off. So it is not as hot as its cousin, and in fact, it's a much more enjoyable experience. On heat, I would give that an 8. It's a good burn. It's not really a painful burn like the SM strain is. It's a much smoother, even burn. So, yeah, 7 out of 10 on flavor and 8 out of 10 on heat. Now, my personal verdict, having tried both strains, is although the SM strain is definitely hotter, it is, in my opinion, also a bad tasting chili. This is a decent tasting chili. This I could actually see cooking with. So, if I personally had to choose between the two, I greatly prefer the Soleski strain, Chocolate Bhutlah. Now, of course, that's entirely up to you. Jim is going to have seeds from both, so you can grow both if you want and taste them both like I have and make your own decision. However, my verdict is I greatly prefer the CS Chocolate Bhutlah to the SM Chocolate Bhutlah. It's just it's a better tasting chili. It's just overall a more pleasant experience. Your mileage may differ. This is all subjective, but that's where I stand on it. I want to thank Chad Soleski for creating the cross. Been really digging your stuff, brother. Awesome chili. I want to thank, once again, Jim Duffy for sending that pod my way. And thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please click the old thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, start a discussion in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Later.